You've felt it before, that uneasy feeling you can't quite explain. Something in their smile doesn't match their eyes. The way they twist your words leaves you second-guessing yourself. One moment they're charming, the next they're cold, and you can't figure out which version is real. Narcissists thrive in that confusion. They use it to keep you off balance, to make you doubt your own instincts. By the time you start to question what's happening, they've already tested your boundaries, studied your weaknesses, and figured out how to keep you hooked. The truth is, spotting the red flags early is the only way to protect yourself from falling deeper into their control. And once you see them for what they are, you can stop blaming yourself, start trusting your gut again, and take back the power they were never meant to have. They move too fast to gain your trust. From the very beginning, they come on strong, complimenting you constantly, wanting to spend all their time with you, telling you how different and special you are. It feels flattering, even intoxicating, because most people don't invest that much energy so quickly. But with a narcissist, it's not about genuine connection, it's about strategy. By overwhelming you with charm and intensity, they're bypassing the normal pace of building trust. They don't want you to have time to think critically or notice inconsistencies. Instead, they want you hooked on the rush of attention so that you'll ignore early warning signs. This fast-track intimacy isn't love, it's a setup. Once they feel you're emotionally invested, that same intensity they used to pull you in will be replaced with control, criticism, or withdrawal. Recognizing this early can save you from confusing manipulation with affection. Their words and actions don't match. They'll tell you exactly what you want to hear, promising change, swearing they'll be there for you, painting a picture of a future that feels safe and secure. But when it's time to follow through, their behavior tells a different story. The apology is followed by the same hurtful pattern. The promises fade the moment the conversation ends, and each time you're left wondering if you misunderstood, if you expected too much, or if you're just being impatient. That's the trap. They keep you focused on their words, so you ignore their actions. Over time, this mismatch erodes your trust in your own judgment. You start giving more weight to what they say than to what they actually do, because believing them feels easier than accepting the truth. But actions don't lie. And if someone's behavior consistently contradicts their words, it's not a misunderstanding. It's a sign you're being manipulated. They use subtle put-downs disguised as jokes. At first, it might seem harmless, just a playful comment, a little teasing, but you notice these jokes always have an edge, always targeting something personal about you, your appearance, your intelligence, your choices. When you react, they brush it off with, "Relax, I'm just kidding," or "You're too sensitive." That's not humor. It's a calculated way to chip away at your confidence while making you doubt your right to speak up. Over time, you start staying quiet to avoid being mocked, even in front of others. This is exactly what they want. By hiding cruelty under the cover of comedy, they get to undermine you without ever taking accountability. The truth is, someone who respects you doesn't make you the punchline. If the jokes always leave you feeling smaller, it's not your sense of humor that's the problem. It's their need to control how you see yourself. They shift blame to avoid accountability. With a narcissist, taking responsibility is almost unheard of. If something goes wrong, they'll twist the story until you or someone else becomes the cause. They might say you made them react a certain way, or that if you had just done something differently, the problem wouldn't exist. Even when the evidence is clear, they'll deflect, minimize, or change the subject entirely. Over time, you start questioning yourself, wondering if you really are the one at fault. That's the point. They want you to doubt your perspective so they never have to face their own behavior. This constant blame shifting not only protects their ego, it keeps you in a defensive position, always trying to prove your innocence instead of holding them accountable. The truth is, healthy people own their mistakes. If someone can never admit they're wrong, they're not protecting the relationship, they're protecting their control over you. They isolate you from support. It rarely happens all at once. It's slow, subtle, and easy to miss until it's already done. They might start by criticizing certain friends or family members, planting seeds of doubt about their intentions. They'll frame it as concern, saying things like, "I just don't think they really care about you," or "they're a bad influence." Other times, they'll create situations that make it harder for you to see those people, scheduling plans that conflict with visits, starting arguments before you leave, or making you feel guilty for wanting time with anyone but them. Over time, your circle shrinks, and you find yourself relying more and more on the narcissist for validation, companionship, and advice. That's exactly what they want. Because the fewer people you have around you, the less likely you are to hear the truth about what's really happening. Isolation isn't love or protection, it's a tool of control. They create chaos to keep you off balance. With a narcissist, stability is rare because unpredictability is one of their most effective tools. One day, they're warm and affectionate, the next, they're cold and distant. They'll start arguments over nothing, change their mind without explanation, or give you mixed signals that leave you constantly guessing where you stand. This constant emotional turbulence forces you to focus all your energy on managing them, watching their moods, trying to prevent the next blow-up, or working to get back to the good version of them you saw before. That's exactly the point. If you're busy trying to keep the peace, you're not questioning their behavior or noticing the patterns of manipulation. Chaos keeps you reactive instead of reflective, and in that reactive state, you're easier to control. In a healthy relationship, you feel safe and steady. In a toxic one, the unpredictability is the control. They make you doubt your reality. Gaslighting isn't just the occasional denial. It's a steady, calculated pattern designed to make you question what you saw, heard, or felt. You bring up something they said and they swear it never happened. You react to hurtful behavior and they claim you're overreacting or imagining things. Over time, these small rewrites of the truth pile up until you're no longer sure if your memory is accurate or if your feelings are valid. That's exactly what they want, to replace your sense of reality with theirs, so you'll depend on them to tell you what's true. The more they distort the facts, the more you second-guess yourself, and the easier it becomes for them to control the narrative. Healthy people may forget or misunderstand, but they don't make you feel crazy for remembering what really happened. When someone constantly undermines your reality, it's not a misunderstanding, it's manipulation. They punish you with silence or withdrawal when you don't give them what they want, whether it's agreement, compliance, or attention. They don't always explode in anger. Sometimes they simply disappear emotionally. They stop responding to your messages, avoid eye contact, or act as if you don't exist. This isn't about cooling down after a disagreement, it's about control. The sudden emotional distance is meant to make you feel anxious, guilty, and desperate to fix things, even if you weren't the one who did anything wrong. The silent treatment shifts the focus from their behavior to your reaction, forcing you to chase them for connection. And when they finally decide to forgive you, it reinforces the power they have over your emotional state. In a healthy relationship, distance is used to find solutions, not to punish. When silence is a weapon, it's not peace, it's manipulation. If you've recognized these patterns, know this. It's not because you're weak or blind. Narcissists are skilled at hiding their intentions and making you doubt yourself. Seeing the red flags now means you're already breaking free from their control. You have the right to trust your instincts, protect your boundaries, and walk away from anyone who uses love as a weapon. You're not overreacting. You're finally seeing the truth. Which of these red flags have you experienced firsthand?